Welcome to Scale Like a CEO, the podcast where we dive deep into the strategies, challenges, and triumphs of building successful companies. Join your host, Justin, as he connects with innovative leaders who are reshaping the business landscape. Today, we're excited to welcome Daniel Ordaz, a seasoned serial entrepreneur and founder who brings decades of experience in technology and human resources. Get ready for valuable insights on leadership, team building, and creating sustainable growth in the modern business world.
Daniel, thank you for joining me on Scale Like a CEO. Before we get started, would you mind just giving me a 90-second intro of you and your business?
Of course, glad to be here, Justin. Well, I'm Mexican entrepreneur, third-time founder. I started back in the 90s before the internet was spread out and then just before the bubble burst. And now for the third time in AI, now that I'm reached 60 years old. So this is my third time around and now with one of my sons as a co-founder. Another of my sons has several disabilities, so I take care of him during the day. So I do a lot of home office. I've been with my now wife for the past 45 years. It's been a very productive and joyful ride. We have also two daughters who are crazy, each one on their own way. They do different stuff, not what I expected them to do. So they're very entertaining to watch from the outside.
That's great. So, what's the biggest problem you see in your industry and how are you solving it?
Well, there's a lot of HR related solutions in the HR tech sector. And regarding AI, most of the solutions that I've seen are focused on talent acquisition, recruiting, and finding the talent for the company. But I see the main problem is that we're not being able to keep the talent in-house. People are leaving the company or they're doing silent quitting, they're thinking about leaving. So eventually, we need to bring more people in instead of trying to focus on how do we keep these people that we have inside and keep them happy, engaged, and productive. So I think we need to focus more on what the job to be done is and how we can help them do it before thinking of replacing them with AI or automating things, which always causes distress and anxiety between our employees. We need to have them feeling safe at their job. They need to learn what they need to learn in this era, but it's not like I'm really looking forward to replacing you with some robot or AI. I really want you to be here and I want you to be as human as possible because that's why you're here, because you're a valuable human being, not something replaceable with machines.
That's great. And so, you've been building Sendos for a couple of years now. What are some challenges that you have encountered as you've transitioned from being a team of one as a founder and building a team?
Well, that's a very good point because I've been in AI related roles for the past 5 years. Before that, I was the director of Mercer, which is a HR consultant, the largest consultant company in the world. But the challenge was finding the right people to take things to the next level. How do you find somebody who really knows what they're doing more than myself and who knows the ins and outs of this new technology? Because everybody was talking about AI for a long time, but very few people really knew how to put it into work. So my main challenge was finding that co-founder. So we are three. One of is my son, who is COO. So he takes care of all the things that probably I wouldn't be good at the day-to-day operations and everything. And Federico, who is the other co-founder, he studied economics. So if I were looking for a co-founder in an HR AI related company, I wouldn't choose a guy who graduated from economics. But that just goes to show you that when we studied back when we were 17, 18, what do we knew about what we wanted to do with our lives? We knew nothing. We just chose a career and we hope it was the good one. But that's why many people don't end up in that. So I was able to see through what he was good at, not what he studied. And then he came to the company and brought the knowledge that we needed to scale up and do what we're doing right now.
That's great. And how big is the team now?
We are 10 people dispersed within several countries in between North America and South America.
Okay, great. And at what point did you decide it was time to start hiring and building the team?
Probably it took me 8 or 9 months because this idea started during the pandemic. So at the time, it was a lot of uncertainty, and you didn't really know how things were going to move and what was going to happen. So I started by myself, but then quickly I realized that I wasn't going to be able. So the first person that came in on board was my son. He was on his own startup doing something else, and he said, I don't like the way things are going on that company. And he realized that I had something going on. And you know that most of the times it's hard to be a good example at home. Your children not always see you as your role model, but then comes an age when they don't want to have to anything to do with you that age, you know. But now he's 32, and when he was 30, he said, I want to join you, and we started doing this. So we realized we needed more people. And since he's more in the operation side, so he was able to find those other people that we needed. I found the co-founder, but he found the people in other countries that could help us scale up.
Okay, great. And as you then have continued to add people to the team, what are some of the key qualities that you look for in the people that you're hiring?
The main one is the desire to learn, because this is changing so much that we have hired people with just the willingness to learn, a basic knowledge of technology that we needed, and we were able to teach them what we needed them to do. So I think that is one of the advantages of this era, where generative AI can really help us learn by ourselves at our own pace instead of having to go through several years of formal education. The good thing about this is that you can hire somebody for much less money and then help them grow so they're more grateful and they're more engaged with the company, instead of hiring somebody who already knows everything you need them to know and having to pay what they deserve. This way, we have help our employees grow, which is basically what we do as a company in Sendos. We help companies develop their own talent, have visibility of what they want to do, how can they grow in the company instead of going elsewhere. We took our own medicine and we did that with our own people.
That's great. I think, the desire to learn is such a key competency needed in an organization that's growing and scaling. It's great that that's something that you're looking at. I'm curious, as you have been growing the team, what's it like to begin delegating tasks across the team and kind of let go of some things?
That's a very good point, Justin, because sometimes you feel like you need to keep doing this so things are done right. But then you realize eventually you gotta let it go. And then you are surprised by the way things turn out. And maybe not the way you want it, but a different way. And you accept them and you learn to live with it. And then you open up to do more things that you want to do, have more time by yourself. It's been a challenge, especially because most of these people are elsewhere. I don't see them on a day-to-day basis. This is the first time that I work with a team that everybody's elsewhere. Just my son and I are in the same city. Everybody else is elsewhere. That also took a lot of learning and willingness to adapt. But I gotta say that I'm happy to have delegated and be surprised by the results, that it was not what I expected. Sometimes it was even better, just different. So I have learned to accept that is good, because otherwise I won't have enough time in my day to do it all.
It can definitely be challenging to decide what you delegate and kind of give up that control. So it's great that you've made that transition and have been able to do that. Can you talk about a time when maybe you felt overwhelmed by decision making in the business, and what strategies did you implement to overcome it?
Well, we have several of those moments, especially when the runway has been short and we were waiting for money to come from customers instead of just angel investors or my own money. So at that point, you knew what you wanted to do. You knew it was not going to be easy, and you knew it was going to take some time. So just trust the process, trust that you made the right decision, and put a deadline. If by this time it doesn't happen, then I have to make decisions. In the past, I've done the other way: is that no, I don't care. I'm going to borrow money, or I'm going to put it on loan or whatever, and that goes out of the scope that I wanted to do originally. So my mindset right now is not this has to work no matter what. No, this has to work if this happens. But if this doesn't happen, then that's it. It doesn't have to be life or death anymore. And I think that's healthier, at least for myself. And don't go all in when you don't really have to.
Yeah. And looking forward, what's your vision for the future of growth within the organization?
Well, don't tell my son, but I'm really looking forward for him to take over and him being the CEO, and then me be more in a backstage role. I do a lot of consulting for global companies or institutions like the Bank of Development or the Mexican Development Bank. I do a lot of coaching for several divisions of the United Nations, and I like that a lot. I also are very involved in other nonprofit organizations, so I would like to be the knowledge base of Sendos, but also be able to do other things, and then have him direct the business and just be there as a consultant and for him the companies, and be there for everything, but not be the CEO for forever. I'm 60 right now. I think I can be here for a few more years, but I'm really looking forward for him to take over quite soon. Don't tell him.
We won't tell him. Well, Daniel, it was really great to have you on the podcast today. If folks want to get in touch with you, what's one of the best ways to reach out?
I will say LinkedIn is the best way. DORDAZ. That's my LinkedIn. It's also my X, Twitter, or Facebook, but LinkedIn is where I'm mostly inhabit every day. And Justin, very glad to be here with you. Very honored to have been in contact with you.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. Take care.